It's funny about, I've said before I'm divorced and remarried very happy. And sports divorces are interesting. Generally, when you have a big sports divorce, and this is the way it would be great if this always worked in life, both sides can reasonably claim they won. Remember Shaq and Kobe? Shaq and Kobe broke up. They won 3 championships. We thought it would be 8. They broke up. But in the end, Shaq won a title. Kobe Bryant won 2 titles. It was pretty good, right? I mean, Shaq went on to have another 3 or 4 great years. He's had a remarkable post-NBA career. Kobe won a couple of championships. That was a very good divorce. I'm watching Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. They had a divorce too. Has there ever been a more lopsided divorce than that one? 2.5 years after they broke up, Kevin Durant's now got 2 titles, 2 MVP finals, favored for a third. This weekend he was named the All-Star Game MVP. It's like he's playing a different game. If he has a great second half, he's getting into that territory that he's being argued now as the best current player in the NBA on perhaps the greatest team we've ever seen in the NBA. I think it's probably second to MJ's Bulls. And then the last 2.5 years, Westbrook did win an MVP, but has had 2 ugly first-round playoff exits. One where he was imploding with Utah fans. He had another surgery. His shot is completely broken. And as Durant yesterday was winning the MVP in the All-Star game joyfully, having fun, it's like he's playing a different game. Westbrook was 1 for 8 on threes, and it looked like he stole the MVP from Giannis and gave it to Kevin Durant because Giannis was winning it. Westbrook came in, took a lot of shots, and killed the momentum for Giannis. Am I crazy here? This is like as bad as a divorce gets in sports. I mean, think about it. Peyton Manning left the Colts. Everybody was freaking out. Yes, Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl, but the Colts have made the playoffs 4 times, including 1 AFC championship with Andrew Luck, and it looks like they got 9 draft picks and $115 million. Indianapolis and Andrew Luck are set for the next half decade. I mean, Brett Favre and the Packers. Brett Favre went to an NFC championship with Minnesota, where he arguably had his best season ever with the Vikings. The Packers went on to win a championship, so they were fine with Aaron Rodgers. And Montana and the 49ers. Everybody thought that was going to be the ugliest divorce. Montana got the Chiefs to the AFC championship, couple of really good years in KC, and Steve Young won another Super Bowl title for the 49ers. But when I watched this KD Westbrook thing, Westbrook for about an hour, you thought, okay, maybe this will work out. It's getting worse by the week. 4 years from now, you're going to owe Westbrook $47 million. 4 years from now, he's a broken player now. And every time they play together, I sit to myself and I think, man, you enabled the wrong guy, OKC. You enabled the wrong guy. Kevin Durant said in a published story when they broke up, OKC enabled Westbrook. Wouldn't coach him up, wouldn't tell him he was difficult to play with. So whether or not OKC wants to blame itself, the way it landed for Durant is you enabled the wrong guy. But you got Westbrook now, who was awful yesterday, had a plus-minus of -19, difficult, broken, rigid, fights with the press, uncertainty with fans, and you watch him yesterday, he's a shell of himself. He's just not the same player. And we still got 4 big years on that contract. And Kevin Durant, in his prime, never been better. He's floating above the floor, is going to win another championship. This is going to be called the greatest basketball team ever. And then he's going to have multiple teams fighting over him. Knicks, Celtics, Kyrie, Lakers, Warriors. Man, most of these sports divorces, actually, both teams win. You better hope in OKC, Westbrook continues to pass more than shoot, and they can get past the first round. Because yesterday, KD and Westbrook in the same All-Star game, Kevin Durant is pulling away in that divorce. Adam Silver, let me shift gears, is the commissioner of the NBA. He stated, and I think this is true, quote, nobody likes to see players demanding trades while under contract. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said this weekend that Anthony Davis's team mishandled the trade request, and Kevin Garnett, Anthony Davis's trade was a bit unprofessional. Let me ask everybody this. Do you like honesty? I do. You know how somebody says, hey, do you want the good news or the bad news first? Joy, what do you say?
Bad news.
I'm the same way. I think most people are like, okay, give me the crap. Just tell me the bad stuff.
Well, because also I may decide what the good news is from it. So if you start with the good news, you may be twisting the narrative. So just tell me what it is.
Okay, and I think I agree with Joy. And the reason we want that is, listen, where almost everybody watching this show and listening takes the bad news first. And the reason is, okay, be honest, be upfront. It can't be that bad. Let me solve the problem. That's what you're basically saying. Okay, let me solve the problem. So Anthony Davis could have done it the way LeBron did. No warning whatsoever. Out of town, you get nothing for him. In Cleveland, they burned his jersey. Anthony Davis could have done it the way Carmelo did. Carmelo's like, I'm out of here, and I'll give you a little warning. And you burn his jersey too. Or you could do like Kawhi Leonard. Literally, you're missing. What country is he in? What hospital? Where'd he go? And the Spurs wanted to burn his jersey. But Clutch Sports and Anthony Davis were hyper-aggressive. What they were is the opposite of passive-aggressive. And now everybody's hammering them. So let me ask you, as a fan, as a consumer, as a GM, as an owner, don't you want your star to be brutally honest? Give me the bad news first. So therefore, you have a heads up and you have time to get draft picks and players. Because you burned LeBron's jersey, you burned Melo's jersey, so Anthony Davis told you a year and a half out, this is not working for me. NFL people running our NBA team, you're not committed, don't like the GM coach, I'm out. And you want to burn his jersey. There's a reason everybody says good news or bad news. We all say, I'll take the bad news first. Because you want the ability to get the time to make it the least bad it will be. And the Pelicans acted like children. Lakers offered them multiple picks and multiple players. The Indiana Pacers, by the way, had no emotion. When Paul George said, we're out of here, I'm leaving, what do the Pacers do? All right, an hour later, they were on the phone, Kevin Pritchard. They got Victor Oladipo. They got Sabonis. They got a bunch of good players. Indiana took the emotion out of it. Indiana said, give me the bad news. Paul George said, I want out. Indiana went, damn. All right, let's make it work. The Pelicans said, give me the good news, give me the bad news first. And Anthony Davis said, I want out. And the Pelicans pouted. You don't get it, do you? Do the Pelicans not get this? There is never, aren't we all seeking honesty? Don't we all want bad news up front so we have time to engineer a good trade, good therapy, good pieces to reassemble what we had? It's amazing to me. I will always take a superstar coming up to me and saying, this is a bad organization. I want out. What terrifies me is I literally, like Pat Riley said in Miami, he said that last couple months with LeBron, nobody was communicating. You're having to guess what the superstar's thinking. Is he staying? Is he going? Can I move him? Can I depend? Can I commit?
Well, what's worse than the silent treatment?
Nothing in the world is worse. I mean, when my wife and I used to argue, I just eventually gave up. But when we used to have real fights, I used to always say, come on, scream at me. Let's go. Let's go. Tell me what the worst is when she's simmering and there's steam coming out and she's not talking to me. So everybody out here is Kevin Garnett, the commissioner, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Everybody's upset with Anthony Davis. And my takeaway is always, there is a reason What do you want, the good news or the bad news? We all say, give me the bad news. So you can, okay, let me reassemble this puppy as much as I possibly can because we're broken here. I just don't get it. What do you want these athletes and these superstars to do? By the way, Anthony Davis this weekend talked about where he's going. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Well, we all know it's not 29 teams. Because if you want to go to somebody that can win, it knocks it down to about 7, 8 teams, 10 maybe. But there you go. Don't blame the star because you have a lousy organization and he's brutally, aggressively upfront and honest. He gave you bad news. Your job to be unemotional and fix it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.